The NRL is the biggest rugby league competition in the Southern Hemisphere. With the 2025 season about to kick off, I thought it would be a good idea to have a look at how all 17 clubs got their names. Brisbane Broncos. The Brisbane Broncos were founded in 1987 and play out of Brisbane, Queensland. The side has won 6 titles, 2 New South Wales Premierships, the precursor to the NRL, 1 Super League, and 3 NRL Premierships. The Broncos were originally going to be called the Kangaroos, but this was abandoned due to being the same name as Australia's national side. Other names that were considered included the Orchids, the Brumbies, the Possums, and the Kookaburra. The Broncos were chosen due to a desire to have alliteration in the name, like fellow local teams, the Brisbane Bullets and the Brisbane Bears of the NBL and VFL. Broncos co-owner Barry Maranatha was also a fan of the NFL side, the Denver Broncos. The Canberra Raiders. The Canberra Raiders joined the league in 1982 and play out of the nation's capital. The side has won the title 3 times, the last title coming in 1994. It is said that the side got their name from the media, which was referencing the fact that they were the first non-Sydney based side in the league. Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. The Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs were founded way back in 1935, after a merger between Canterbury and Bankstown, which are both suburbs of Sydney. The club has won the premiership 8 times. The side were not called the Bulldogs until 1978, as they no longer wanted to be called nicknames such as the Cantabs, Seabees or Berries, as these were seen as being too soft, while the Bulldogs was seen as signifying determination and grit. The side has changed their names a few times, going by the Sydney Bulldogs and the Bulldogs before changing their name back. Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. The Cronulla Sutherland Sharks were formed in 1963 and play out of the southern Sydney suburb of Cronulla. The Sharks were nearly called the Lions, but ended up going with the Sharks. The Sharks were picked due to the Cronulla Surf Club league teams of the 1970s, which share the same name. The side has won 1 premiership, doing so in 2016. Dolphins. The Dolphins are the newest club in the league, having joined the competition in 2023. They represent the Redcliffe area of Brisbane. They get their name from the Redcliffe Dolphins, who are a Queensland Cup side. The Dolphins are notable in that they're the only side not to have their location in their name. This was done as they didn't want to alienate anyone from supporting the club. Gold Coast Titans. The Gold Coast Titans are the second youngest side in the league, having joined in 2007. They represent the Gold Coast region of Queensland. The Titans were the first Gold Coast team since the Gold Coast Chargers, who left the league in 1998. They were originally going to be called the Dolphins, but dropped the name after being threatened with legal action from the Redcliffe Dolphins. The side was named from a name the team contest. Other 2 names shortlisted were the Stingers or the Pirates. The Titans won the final vote. Manly Sea Eagles. The Manly Sea Eagles were formed in 1946 and play out of the Northern Beaches region of Sydney. The side merged with the Northern Sydney Bears in 1999 to form the Northern Eagles, which are considered a separate club. The joint venture competed for 2 seasons before the deal collapsed and Manly were on their own, however they were still named the Northern Eagles. In 2003, they returned as their current name. They chose the sea eagle as it's the native bird of prey in the area. The side has won the premiership 8 times. Melbourne Storm. Melbourne Storm are based in Melbourne, Victoria, and are the only side based in the state. The side was founded in 1997 and have won the competition 6 times, but 2 were stripped because of salary cap breaches. The side was originally going to be called the Mavericks, but abandoned the name as it seemed too American. After a name the team contest, the Storm was picked as it had themes of lightning and power. New Zealand Warriors. The Warriors are the only non-Australian side and play out of Auckland, New Zealand. The side was formed in 1995 as the Auckland Warriors. In 2001, they renamed themselves the New Zealand Warriors. The Warriors' name is likely a nod to the Maori people, who are the indigenous people of the country and were known as fierce warriors in battle. Newcastle Knights. The Newcastle Knights joined the league in 1988. They play out of Newcastle in New South Wales. The team has won the league on 2 occasions. The Knights' nickname is said to be a nod to the city as being a steel and industrial area. North Queensland Cowboys. The North Queensland Cowboys play out of the city of Townsville in the North Queensland region. They played their first season in 1995 and won the competition once, doing so in 2015. The names of the side were chosen through a Name the Team contest. Other names that were suggested included the Marlins, Stingrays, and Crocodiles. However, the winning name was the Cowboys. Parramatta Eels. Parramatta were formed in 1946 and represent the Sydney suburb of Parramatta. They didn't have an official nickname until the 1970s, going informally by the Fruit Pickers. They would adopt the nickname the Eels as Parramatta means the place where eels dwell in the local indigenous language. The club has won 4 premierships, last doing so in 1986. Penrith Panthers. The Penrith Panthers were formed in 1966. They represent the Greater Western Sydney suburb of Penrith. They've won the title 6 times. South Sydney Rabbitohs. The South Sydney Rabbitohs were formed in 1908 and are one of the oldest clubs in the league. They are based in the suburb of Redfern. South Sydney holds the record for the most premierships, having won the competition 21 times. How the team got their name is unclear, but the term Rabbitoh was used to refer to people who would hunt and sell rabbits at markets. They would often yell Rabbit-O in order to attract buyers. St George Illawarra Dragons. The Dragons were formed in 1998 after the merger of the St George and Illawarra Rugby League clubs. They're the only intercity club in the league. Since the merger, the side has only won 1 premiership, doing so in 2010. Dragon nickname is a shortened version of the Dragon Slayers, the original nickname of the St George side, Sydney Roosters. Sydney Roosters are the other oldest team in the league, having been formed in 1908. They are based in Sydney's eastern suburbs. The side has won 15 premierships since its formation. The side was originally known as Eastern Suburbs and were nicknamed the Tricolours due to the 3 colours on their jersey. In 1968, the side picked up the Rooster nickname. It's rumoured that this was because of the Roosters jersey being like the French teams. The national emblem of France is the rooster, hence the nickname. West Tigers. The West Tigers are another club formed because of a merger. The West Tigers were formed in 2000 after a merger between the Balmain Tigers and the Western Suburb Magpies. The side is based in both Balmain and Western suburbs of Sydney. Since the merger, the side has won 1 title, doing so in 2005. The side's name is a combination of the 2 former clubs, with the Wests coming from the Western suburbs and the Tigers coming from the Balmain Tigers. And that's it, all 17 clubs of the NRL and how they got their names. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a like. Let me know in the comments which team do you support, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I make videos whenever I can, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.